Hold on. I want to see.
Where's Nibs?
Nib is not joining. It's just us. Type shit. Let me see. Maybe like one more minute to see if there's any other activity. But okay, if not, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna pull up the games. Did you guys have any topics specifically you were dying to talk about?
I think if you just give me like 4 or 5 minutes on the pool,
Okay.
how they're playing,
I'm trying to instigate with Liverpool
Slot
today,
talk.
so
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, let's start with the last fixture first, right? So Liverpool 2-0 against Brentford. I'll say, I don't know. I think I have an idea of what Forest is trying to instigate, and I'm there. I'm definitely
Let's
there.
do it.
Look, the football's great. Schlot's great. I think he has made your attack like more free flowy than it was before, which I didn't think was possible. And I think literally he must have sat these guys down and be like, guys, revolutionary concept. We're gonna do Steve Kerr one more pass ball, right? And
Yeah.
I think all he needed to get that message across was it to work once, right? Like if these first two games hadn't been great, I think you see a version of Salah that isn't pass first. I think you see a version of Jota that isn't pass first. Same thing for Diaz. I think once an attack sees this kind of, you know, unselfishness work out for them, they tend to buy into it more and feed into it more. The players that aren't playing, like Nunez, like Gakpo, are the ones struggling with this concept. So I think he's doing good there. Also want to big up your defense. Brentford are by no means a slouch when it comes to that. Early, I don't want to compare you guys to Arsenal, but that's like my benchmark for everything. When Arteta first came back, one of the things that made me happiest was like when a team was on transition, I would see 8, 9, 10 Arsenal players running back in a line, and we're seeing that now with Liverpool. So very happy.
Yeah,
Let
dude.
me
I
start.
think people say the sandwich is already made, but what I like about Slot is he's tweaking where Klopp's faults were, especially in the last 2 seasons. And that preseason run wasn't just a fluke, right? Like you said, it's Warriors basketball. There was a point from like the 55th minute until Salah scored 15 minutes later. 15-minute stretch of just like it could have been 10 goals. It was
Yeah,
crazy. I mean, there was a Jota bicycle kick assist. It was just the craziest thing I've ever seen. And like you said, right? Like the players, and I know we're going to get to what you want to talk about, are generally meshing really well under Slot, right? There's that
generally.
unselfish,
Keyword
generally, right?
generally.
He's turned, like we've had this struggle with, we were promised so many signings, big spending, all this stuff, right? Absolutely nothing. He turned Gravenberch into like so far one of the best
Yeah, I wanted to
at
say
the
that he
six.
looks good at the six.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he looks fantastic, right? And I think he's managing that really well. Let's talk real quick about, Mr. Mo Salah. They said he was going to Saudi. They said he was only a 7-year wonder. They said his hairline wasn't coming back. All of those wrong, right? And even at this age, I think
One of those was right. That hairline is cooked.
nah,
I
man.
don't think.
We'll see. We'll see where it's
he brought
at
it back, bro. He brought it back.
in
He brought the
36
hairline
weeks.
back.
Yeah. But I think what I love the most about Salah is he knows he's not like going to be as explosive running down the right side, right? And he's coming up with like just waiting with his man, finding that bell just at the perfect moment, and just laying it right over the keeper. Both of his goals in both the 2 weeks were just like that, right? He knows he's not going to be the explosive goal scorer that he was.
Yo, we gotta do the thing
Hey,
teachers do.
chill out,
Man.
chill out.
Hey, good for you to show up, huh?
Class started 5 minutes ago, bro.
But yeah, no, I agree with every point you've made, and I think what a lot of people forget is your title hopes last season fell apart because your attack stopped scoring, and for him to be able to address that immediately, like I remember the big fear people were talking about last season, like, is it over for Salah for good? Is it over for like this Nunez heavy investment? That might still be true, but the fact that he's had this group of attackers everyone knows to be potent to get back to that characteristic gunman behavior is like very encouraging. And maybe the solution for that always was to create more chances, right? I'm not going to say you were wanting for chances when Klopp was around, but you're definitely creating more now. And to you guys' point, Gravenberch did look good. And I also see those. You guys know that gambling meme where it's a guy in like a cave mining. They said that's Thiago leaving before Schlott got here because he really would have excelled in this team. Like,
Yo, but can I interject here? How much of this is Klopp muscle memory versus
a lot of it?
I'm gonna disagree on one facet, right? And that Slot is fixing like look at Luis Diaz, right? We're very reactionary fans talking about he can't finish and he just dances. And the last half of the season he looked really bad. A goal and an assist today. He looked great in the final third.
Out. That's exactly what I'm gonna say is Klopp muscle memory. There was a time
I don't know.
Luis Diaz was hooping, right? And I think what I was telling you, Rayan, when we had lunch, right? Like, the thing I look at with new managers is, like, if you're not good in your first 60 days, it's a big red flag to me. Because if you're coming into a team, with the caveat that you're coming into a team that's a solid team, right? If you're coming into a team with players with quality, just this new figure coming in, giving everyone a clean slate, right? There's no prejudice. There's no spot you kind of have to establish or not establish. It's like free reign for everyone to go. Sometimes that's all a good team needs, right? They know how to play from what Klopp told them, but maybe things were just getting stale, or maybe someone was getting.
I'd back him up on the Diaz thing though, because I do think Diaz had a problem of not just as a winger, get in the box, make your cross, or get in the box, get your shot off. He was doing a lot of extra stuff. So if Slot's just coming and be like, bro, chill out, either cross or shoot, don't do anything else, and he's listening to him, you can say that's a credit
that's
to this manager.
The big thing I want to talk about is listening to him, because again, we're going to talk about the one thing, but people are they're listening to Slot, man. Nunez, the biggest crybaby on the team. You don't see anything about him, right? He would complain so much under Klopp. But look at just
watch this space. Watch this space. There might be a press briefing soon.
Trent yet?
Look at just yeah, go ahead.
Let's stop edging.
We're getting there. Let's just do it now. Let's just do it now.
Let's get it out of the way.
That guy
everybody saw it.
Is out of here. He's gone. I'm sorry. I've
no.
never seen... No. Let me speak. Let me talk. Okay. In my childhood, all I knew, and this is honestly really telling of my character. I grew up in an era where Arsenal were horrible, but we sometimes had great players, right? And the one fear that I constantly lived in was, when is this guy gonna want to leave? And what I studied and what I mastered in those years when we were ass is clocking exactly when the body language changes, exactly when the expression changes, when the interviews start getting weird. And there's a pivotal moment where you're like, this guy's gone. It happened. It happened with Sanchez.
Every Chelsea player would be gone. We're talking about reactionary, right? This guy last game week was ear to ear, throwing assists. Yeah, let's talk about what it really is, right? I think Trent, right? Brilliant player. One of our best, our academy product, everything. Everybody loves this guy, right? I love him as one of my favorite players on the team too. But I'm siding with my manager here, right? Because it's just childish. And I think the biggest thing is everyone talks about with they're selling Klopp's kids, and they used to whine about Klopp. Let me do this, Klopp. Let me do that. He's the stepdaddy that stepped up and said, "Nah, there's gonna be some order in this house, right?"
No, I agree.
There's no reason that a manager needs to explain anything to his player for subbing him off. And second point, you want to say he's gonna leave at Real Madrid? He's not gonna touch the grass.
No,
before whoa. I feel like it's not even on Trent, bro. I really think he was guided by his agents. Hey, start acting like this because we gotta get out of here.
Oh, brother.
That's another thing. Slot is very much he's not super head honcho, right? He's listening to the voices in his back ear. And it's a very, if you have to give a reason, he wants him fresh fit for United, right? Why do you need a hoop with 20 minutes left against Brentford when the game's away, right? For him to act like this is very, very
This is great. I love this.
I 100% agree with you that you should 100% back your manager, that it was the right decision to sub him off. What I'm just telling you is the matter of fact that guy in his head is in Madrid. He's on the beach. He's living large. Because, and you might be right that if he has that attitude, it's time for him to go. Because players like that can no longer give, like, Trent is an effort player, bro. Like, he has bags of talent, but the thing that made him special from a young age for Liverpool was, like, he was the local guy that got a chance to play at his boyhood club and had that, like, fuel. Like, that goal they got against Barca, right? Mm-hmm. That one year they won the Champions League. He had that dog in him to take that corner quickly, right? This Trent, he's waiting for the whistle. He's taking his time.
It's a little funny that the Liverpool Academy kid is leaving.
No, why are we saying he's leaving? The other counterpoint, let's talk about Mo Salah, right? He's shown this body language every season of the last 5. They said he was going to Real Madrid.
And guess who's
they said he was going to Saudi.
He's gone too. He's just more professional with it. And speaking,
here's Salah. This is what happened with Salah. He found out that he can post shirtless pics on Twitter, and he was able to like channel that energy. So now he's just like posting their shirts. Trent just needs an out. Trent just needs to be able to express himself.
Not here.
And look, hey, sure, but he's talking like this, like we don't have last season's Connor Bradley who would step in like that,
I agree.
Right? Like it's a little bit too much ego.
He's not appreciated, dude. Connor Bradley,
but look,
Trent Alexander-Arnold. Say his name nicely.
Absolutely. I started saying Trent Alexander-Arnold is the heart and soul of this team, but that attitude is inexcusable for anyone, right? People give Cristiano Ronaldo shit for how he talks, right? Like. It doesn't matter who you are. There's an attitude that you need to maintain for the club. Over a 2-0 win, you played great. You just had an assist last game or multiple chances created. Like, it's nonsense.
Because it doesn't... Like, what are you upset at? What are you upset at?
Yo, Nibs got it. Nibs got the ITK hitting him up. Like, bro, can you talk about this?
Nibs got the press briefing from Trent's people. This is cover up, man. Listen.
Yeah, keep going. Give us
the moment Schlott went to him to speak to him and explain this decision on the bench, I think that was the biggest misstep in his entire Liverpool tenure so far.
You're saying just leave it. You're saying just leave it.
As the commentators rightly pointed out, no manager owes an explanation to a player for why he subbed him, right? The moment you go and do that to him, you empower him. And here's what you do. You make yourself vulnerable, right? If you are going to give someone an explanation, it puts the ball in their court how they're going to receive it. I guarantee you he did not expect that response. And by giving that response, it completely undermines this guy in front of everybody.
Like, I heard Connor Bradley starting on Sunday against United.
All right, yeah, we got. I think we got our clips, right? I think we got our clips. Liverpool #1 in XG created, #1 in XG conceded so far. So great start to the season. I'm going to end on that positive note. What's next on the schedule?
But there's a cancer in the dressing room. Yeah.
We'll see.
There's a malignant tumor in the.
Let's be back game week 3 against.
I saw Jude Bellingham was in the stands. You want to answer that?
I'm on.
Okay. I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now.
Go.
If
I'm saying like I'm excited about like how Slot is gonna handle this, honestly, because like I really feel like he's that type of guy that's not gonna take shit from anyone, but like at the same time, you know, Trent has like that.
Low key, he probably just nips it in the bud like in one sentence.
Yeah, look what he did with Kwanzaa last game week. He's a man. You saw what he said to Jamie in the post game. He said no one listens to this guy anyways. No respect for him. He's like, shut the like I'm here now. Yeah. Like I think this guy has the balls.
I think the hard man attitude works when you are like top dog, right? I think with Salah and Trent, it's this weird situation. Obviously, no one is actually ever bigger than the club. But if there's 3 players at Liverpool who could claim to be, it's Trent, Salah, and Van Dijk, right?
Yeah.
And we knew this beforehand that egos might clash, right? Like this was everyone was saying that when Klopp leaves, like Van Dijk, especially, they were saying this is his team, right? Like, but look at the difference between Van Dijk and Salah, who have complained a lot in the past, especially Salah versus Trent. Like it's just an immaturity thing. Like it has nothing to do with the manager, in my opinion. Like,
but it presents.
There's a way that
it presents the perfect opportunity to gauge how this guy. He has options here, right? If Trent continues this behavior, right? Let's say he's not able to nip this in the bud, which by Trent's behavior today seems like the likely outcome that this will continue for a little bit. Does he exile him from the squad?
We're getting into crazy hypotheticals.
Does he
normal tactics?
Does he continue to start him?
I'm messing with it though. He should ask for $500K.
It's a conversation because Connor Bradley exists. If Connor Bradley didn't exist, this conversation wouldn't happen, right? Like, you pretend it never happens, you start him. Because you have a guy that's like low-key capable, you begin to entertain these other options. And I'm very much watching this space.
We'll monitor this space.
But, like, I don't want to take away. Look, we spent the first 5 minutes glazing. Like, you guys played good. But this is a situation. Like, we'll see.
There's always something.
Chelsea, listen, Chelsea won. We don't get to talk about this often. Chelsea won, and they
positivity
won
gimmick.
Madueke was shitting on the entire town of Wolverhampton before the game. Yo, if a player has a close friend story, I don't know if he has superstar potential, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that he has a close friend story, the fact that that's the type of thing he posts on it, a black screen with a location tag, that's like worrying to me. But the fact that he was able to come on, bag a hat trick today, back his chat, it was a good day, not only for Madueke, it was a good day for Chelsea. And Faris, I want to give you an opportunity to gloat, an opportunity to soak this in, because I don't know how many more.
Yeah, honestly, I could still come in here and be pretty negative, but I'm gonna let these guys live for one more day. Okay. That was fun. It's not often, you score 6 goals against a team you struggle with in recent years. I don't know if anyone watched the first half. It was some of like the worst football I've ever seen.
I didn't watch any of it.
It was like a basketball game, like back and forth.
It was, the back and forth was 2-2 going into half.
We should not. It felt like a mid-table clash from like the early 2000s, but like it was Chelsea and Wolves. But
it's a mid-table clash in the late.
It is a mid-table clash. But no, the second half was something else, dude. I have no idea how that felt like that was not what Maresca wanted to coach. Like it was like just all the goals came in transition.
Talk about
everything. Yeah, talk about muscle memory for sure. That felt like a Poch game. And all the young guys just look good, dude. Pause on that, but all the dudes were
watch the space.
Clip that.
I don't know, man. It's so hard to be positive about this team. I don't know how to give compliments to them.
I'll tell you where to start. Cole Palmer. We talked about Madueke, the hat trick of assists, the way he was moving transition. Like, if there's a way to say that.
Here's one thing, though. Yeah. How do you concede the same goal 3 times?
Yeah. So this is what I was going to say. The game against Servette and the 3 goals today, it seems Madueke got that near post finish on rocks. Like, if that becomes like a go-to finish for him, you got a weapon there. But we'll have to see. I don't know. He scored 4 goals of the same.
I don't think Servette and Wolves is like the best judge of
it's not
quality right now, but
maybe it's what you need to get started on having like a trademark shot, right?
Yeah.
The other,
I was just happy he was using his weak foot too
tidy,
for 2 of those goals.
He's a
little concerned that he was going to be very
should be starting every game on that right wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And him and Palmer have a nice little 1-2. It's fun to watch.
And bro, I know we talk about Palmer a lot, but it speaks to how good he is when I saw the highlight of that pass that came into him. The moment he came onto the ball, you just knew it was cash money. Like,
oh yeah,
he's that kind of player where his end product you can count on. And the last point I wanted to make, and this is a negative point.
Let's go. Finally.
Look, we had instances in previous years where Arsenal would win like, I want to say, like, personally significant games, right? Like, we would win a game after a rough patch, and the entire media would be like, oh, these guys celebrate too much. And my thought would always be like, how can you be mad at us for celebrating a win? But I'm going to be guilty of that today because the stories I'm seeing from Nicholas Jackson calling out Mikel.
Okay, but that's not celebrating the win. That's obviously
and that's the difference for me. And
responding to what Mikel said. I can't.
How can you how can you shit on someone who gave you criticism after scoring 1 goal in 1 game? Like, I'm
That's
sure Mikel never said, "Oh, Jackson can't bag against Wolves." He said Jackson's not a good player, and that could still be true.
Look, no, but let's remember just last season, bro. Didn't you guys put like 6 on Everton in like the 30th game week or something, and then just shit the bed the next week? Like,
yeah,
this is not a team where you can just rely on one performance where everyone's clicking. And look at the first half too, right? Like, they spammed the same move 3 times, and I remember you're saying it could be like a move that he develops. I remember Nunez bagged like the same goal twice against Newcastle beginning of last season, and they said, "Oh, it's fixed now. He's here. He's got his signature move." And like, anything can happen, especially with Chelsea. So
Felix got his annual like first debut, like superstar performance, and he clutched his wages.
Yeah,
bro. Felix, when the score line is like 5-0, is like R9.
He might be the greatest player ever.
When the game is won, that guy is moving different.
When there's nothing on the line, I want Joao Felix.
Nuts, dude. That whole team was moving different when it was safe and sound.
Oh, I wanted to see a pen. I wanted to see the argument like over who takes that.
Yeah,
if we got to that point.
For FPL purposes, 100%. Is it Nkunku or Palmer?
Yes, it's going to be Palmer for penalties still.
100%. All right, this bum Nkunku's off the team today. How your team scores 6 and you got 1 point? Things like that.
But look, I want to throw in one topic. They pointed out that 9 of the starting 11 were guys 23 or younger. A lot of these guys have 1 year of Prem experience under their belt.
Say it again.
Orlando has been compromised. Yeah.
Did I cut out? Am I back? I was saying a lot of these guys, like I think 9 of the 11 are 23 or younger, and they got a year of Prem experience under their belt. And I don't know, like, this is the part that you have to be like, this is the rebuild, right? This is how you get to where you want to be. This is like, these guys need the up and downs to become better players. And it's just hard to like, all of last season was 1 game we would win, 1 game we would lose, 1 game, besides Palmer, everyone was up and down.
But that pattern could still exist next week.
It can. It definitely can.
Like, why wasn't that the case with the last 5 managers?
For Chelsea. No, I'm just saying.
Right? Like, why
I'm saying. Yeah,
I'm saying. Finish it.
I'm finishing. Okay, give me a second. For these guys, like, I know we've been through a lot of different managers. Even the managers have not been given time. If we give Maresca, like, I've been really harsh on him, but if he has enough time to coach these guys up and they have a little bit more experience, then I'm sure we can figure out like how to see these games out a little better, how to concede less shots and stuff. But yeah, you can make the jokes about that. A lot of managers. Maresca might be gone in November too. Who knows?
No, I think it's fair, and I don't want my my thing about saying calm down to come off as overly negative, because a win definitely can't be a bad thing for your development. But what I'm advising is like even more patience, because you very well could go next week and lose, but that doesn't erase what happened this week. Right? This week also doesn't mean you've turned a corner or something, right?
No, definitely not.
Right? Like, progress for your team will not be based on results. It will be based on how you played. I think second half today was an indication you are able to play well, and your point about how your players play when you're winning a game should be the number one most significant thing, because it shows the quality is there, right? It's maybe not the mental aspect.
Another thing, like,
part of it is
you have to consider, like,
even
the mid-table teams and the low-level teams, they kind of don't take the same approach they would take as one of the typical big 6 with Chelsea. I feel like they really feel like they can get these 3 points, so they play a little differently, more open. And it's up to, like, Chelsea. I think it's a good point for them, like, try to make sure you punish the teams that actually try to come out and play against you guys and actually, take points off of them. I feel like it's a good space. You just gotta make sure the players actually produce in the games.
Yeah.
No, we got to give them time, but we need a bit of consistency, which we haven't seen in the last few managers. So,
alrighty, I think that's enough on Chelsea.
Weird one.
Next team up, we got Arsenal, who, after a full calendar year, have beat Aston Villa. And very importantly, we beat them at their ground. And I think if there is a title charge this season, we're going to look back on this fixture and be like, thank God Almighty that we got this out of the way, and we got this out of the way successfully. I, at around like 66 minutes, was fearing a loss. I'm not going to lie. Let's start with all the negatives. Our midfield, for a lot of that game, did get overrun. I wasn't very impressed with Partey or Rice. I think that Rogers guy had us on thin ice, okay? Julian
That
Timber,
one video of Shaq and Kobe, like that compilation, that's what it felt like watching. Like Rogers and what's his name on the right, Bailey.
no,
They were moving different.
They were moving very different. I think Rogers especially watch his space. That seemed like £100 million player in a year.
Chill out.
For somewhere. No, genuinely, like we hype all these other players, Jude, da 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 da.
Is
I don't
he
think
English,
he's
by the
doing
way?
that much less than those guys. But
Okay.
Julian Timber,
Wow.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
I think he's City's academy actually from some time ago.
Damn. Then we might really be in trouble. Julian Timber to me wasn't that impressive. I think, bro, like at 30 minutes you could see him huffing and puffing. Maybe his fitness has something to do with it. He's never really had a run of games with us yet, so I'm willing to be patient there. I think the number one culprit, Martinelli, was beyond horrible. Like we talked about what Slot fixed with Luis Diaz. This is like Luis Diaz prefix. He looks lost. He looks lost for ideas. It honestly has a lot of the ability we know him to have. He can still beat a man, but he'll do it, and it seems like he doesn't know what to do afterwards. It seems like he doesn't really have a gauge for where the field ends. He's constantly running the ball out of bounds, and it feels like so erratic. And the number one thing for me, Martinelli will cross the ball at a predetermined spot, at a predetermined time, with no gauge or understanding of what's happening in the box. There were so many times where he had the ball on the left wing before he tried to beat a man, where there's players making runs wide open. He won't even think about a cross then. Instead, he has it programmed into his brain. Oh, I got to take this guy on and then throw a cross in without looking. And it's like, maybe that can work if you're...
Dude, that sounds a little Mudricky, these complaints you're having.
And it's maybe the strategy would work if his crosses were pinpoint. The issue is they either don't beat the first man or they go out for a throw. So it's like he really needs to take a step back, get back to doing the simple things right. Maybe stop. You know, if he's being overcoached, maybe throw some of that out. Because
are you of the belief that his game went down the second Xhaka left and he lost that
I think
midfield
it's related.
playing into
I
it,
think
or you think this is unrelated?
Because
this is him.
Yeah.
With Declan Rice being there, I mean Declan Rice is not like a bad passer of the ball or anything, but I feel like the player that Arteta wants Declan Rice to be does not cater to the left wing at all. Like you just he just tells him to push the ball forward and kind of like switch the ball around and things like that. But like Martinelli's positioning whenever he gets the ball is just always on the wing ahead of two defenders. And his main trick of the game is just, hey, don't cut, run the wing, and try to put a cross in. He rarely cuts nowadays. Always try to take the ball like outwardly towards his left. And I just feel like go ahead.
I have a counter argument. I watched the post. Okay, so the reason we're talking about Martinelli especially is because his substitution came on and scored with his first touch and has always been incredibly effective off the bench, right? It adds more pressure. There was a post-game interview with Trossard where one of the pundits asked, hey, what were your instructions from Mikel? And if you watch the game, what he did, he describes exactly. He said, Mikel told me to get on and run in behind, right?
Yeah.
If that's the instruction from Mikel, what I wonder is, because That's exactly what Trossard did, and that's exactly the passes Declan Rice was able to feed into him to run in behind, right? Past the defender. What is stopping Martinelli from making those same runs? Because if you look at where Martinelli looks to receive the pass, it is with all the work left to do. He's not making any runs to try and receive the ball behind like he did when he was most effective. If you look at his goals in 22-23 season, every single good action that comes from him is when he makes the run in behind the fullback. He didn't try that once today. And it's like, why are you so confident in your ability to where you're asking the landlord to increase your rent? Like, run in behind, bro. Like, you're fast. And you see, like, look, I understand Declan Rice isn't as good of a passer as Granit Xhaka, but when Trossard comes out, you see that the service is adequate. And it's not like Trossard has a better speed, better agility.
No, I think also
Martinelli.
like if you look at
there really is no
try to gauge the games that Trossard has. Trossard runs into the same problems Martinelli does. If you've noticed it, like I think the coaching that Martinelli is receiving, I think he's performing to whatever he like. Because I feel like this almost is like what he doesn't want to do. Like the things he's doing is like I really feel like it's an end result of Mikel's coaching. And it's sad that it is like that, but I don't know. Maybe there's some things that he can't really execute that Mikel's asking of, but can't really pinpoint it until like the piece.
But you know why he can't complain? Because everything today ran down the left. It was the opposite story of last season, where we were like, bro, Martinelli hasn't seen the ball in like 45 minutes. Literally every single chance.
And he had
went through him to
back up left, right back to.
And it's not like Saka. Yeah, and it's not like Saka
really
receives the ball in any more favorable
if you compare the right side, bro, like
the
connection, the chemistry that Odegaard has with Saka, it's like 0 to 100 on the left side, bro. Like it's really unfair.
Yeah. That's what I would say. Like if Martinelli had like a proper left back overlapping and someone playing into him, trying to take the pressure off him.
Reverted shit that Timber does. It's like cancel
having a little bit more space to
the work Ben White does. Like I've rarely seen Timber go across the other side. Like it really is. Yeah.
But hear me out. I want you to think of every situation where Saka looks at the situation and says, nah, I'm going to pass it to Ben White or pass it to Odegaard. And I want you to analyze Martinelli in those same situations. I don't know whether it's a trust thing or whether it's a brain thing, he does not opt to look for a pass on that left-hand side until he's almost already lost the ball. The difference to me is Saka makes that determination very early on. There's times I wish Saka would try to take someone on where he opts not to. Martinelli is entirely the opposite. This guy will, no matter the situation, attempt to run and then, I messed up. Here you go, Declan. Like
for sure.
The relationship isn't there, but he's not helping it. And
it's kind of funny. All our clubs have a left winger that has like brain cell problems.
Yeah, I feel like
no, but with all that being said,
wise.
I'm buying Martinelli stuff.
I'm buying
Martinelli stuff today.
I'm
buying as much as possible.
Saliba was very, very strong. Raya had a crazy save.
Look, we're good as fuck. Understand that. Like I said, Martinelli being our worst player is shit in my dreams.
Wait, Rayan, that means it's in their hands, right? It's in their hands, right? The league title's in their hands
right now. I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
Preseason predictions, it's already theirs to lose with the game week 2. It's Arsenal's to lose. Clip it and everything, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not doing this bullshit right now. I want to talk about Saliba. Highlight there because what a player, man. Because we were doing like last season, like, is he the Van Dijk level? Oh, he's lacking this, or like it's not ready for those combos yet. He's there now, like as the premier center back in the league. Like it's just the stuff I see it's really incredible. It's like all hats off to him.
The recovery tackle he had on Jacob Ramsey was
perfect.
insane.
Inch perfect, I think.
Insane.
I'm so glad you said that, man.
Yeah, exactly. Forget the tackle.
Forget the tackle. It's the dog. He had the ball it's the confidence I had in my head. I didn't have any stress. I knew the outcome genuinely. Like, and when you feel that safe,
Yeah,
that
you know,
perilous
that's a
of a
great
position,
point. I feel like
that's when you know you got a real one. Like, it's
yeah,
This is gonna sound dumb. First time I saw the aura was there. It's like when you think like what you said, it's like it's safe, right? Like it's not a tangible thing. It's like
Mhm.
like that's the thing where it's like he had the skills, like maybe a little error here and there, doesn't matter, right?
exactly.
What Van Dyke had was like that backing of like, oh, it's
Yeah.
fine, it's whatever, right?
You're right. It's
Saliba now
very
the ball goes
comparable to
down that
what
way,
Van
you're like,
Dijk
nah,
had
it's
back
fine, it's wraps, it's
like
brick wall.
beginning early
And
times of the season.
it's also actually a positive feedback loop because it's not just
Wow.
us that feel this. Attackers across the league, and Van Dijk experienced this. Genuinely, attackers would get worse
Yeah.
around Van Dijk because they felt it was inevitable. So, the longer he continues this, the easier his work psychologically gets. Like, I know that sounds crazy to say, but like, I guarantee you, Haaland, when he looks at that Arsenal fixture, doesn't feel the same way as he did last season or the season before that, right? There's more. Like,
I bet he's chilling.
I don't know
I
about
don't
Haaland,
think
yeah.
I bet
I don't think
Haaland-
Haaland looks at he has his own intimidation factor that's just like,
I know for
Listen,
I
he
know
doesn't
for
know
a
what the hell
fact
he
though,
wants.
our
Bagged a
team
single
has
goal
that
against
fucking
my club
mentality
last
against
I
Man
don't know
City,
too
bro.
many
The
other
way
teams
we
that can say
fucking change up, we fucking feel that shit.
Yeah, we fear them. Yeah, absolutely.
are we talking about
Yeah.
other games other than are we doing like a little City
Bro,
little
What is there to
mention
talk
of that,
about, bro?
the way they
What is there
turned
to
that
talk about
around?
Man
That was
City,
just because you thought, at the beginning, like we had discussions at the beginning of the season, like, oh, is it like the wheels are gonna fall off? Is it gonna be like Pep saying like, oh, it's his last run or whatever else, right? Like Ipswich got the first goal, everyone was like, holy shit, in their own home, right? Like, and then I think in the next, what was it, 3-4 minutes? It
Bro,
was
my
already
text
3-1.
hadn't even like fully been read by everyone.
Yeah.
When I put Ipswich in all caps, I literally put my phone down. It was
I
2-1.
know, bro.
I picked it
Yeah.
back up 3-1. What a waste of time, bro.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
I hate those guys so much.
But you know what? This is gonna sound crazy too, and I'm aware it sounds crazy. I'm extremely glad they haven't fallen off. Like, if my side ever wins a title, I want to be able to say we took them down, not
That's fair.
not
Mm.
a tired version of them, an injured version of them, a given up side of them. I want Pep Guardiola to try his hardest and come up short. Like, I dream of that moment.
No, people are going to talk about how Arsenal overcame slot ball. Like that's going to be a thing people look back at. Like, how did they do that, man? Like,
Oh man.
Trent, we got room for you. Trent, we got room for you, brother. Yeah, so I think that's everything for this week. Big fixture next week is obviously Manchester United, Liverpool, another top of the table clash. Apparently,
top of the table, I don't know.
Brighton,
United
Arsenal.
look like shit.
No, I'm talking about us. Brighton.
Oh,
versus
yeah,
Arsenal. Two undefeated teams. Perfect record still. One will have to give way to the other. It is at home, so I'm backing Arsenal with that one. Anyone think otherwise? Let's pose it that way.
Yes.
I don't think otherwise, but I think it's going to be like your first real like there will be goals conceded. Like the way Brighton are looking right now. How Pedro Welbeck, I think he can bag, right?
Yeah.
Matoma's looking crazy.
Wow,
like
Pedro.
their team looks complete.
I'm with Ryan.
Okay.
I think goals will be scored both teams.
But do you think it'll be anything besides Arsenal win? That's where things get juicy.
I could see a draw, but I'm like leaning Arsenal win.
Okay, Faris.
No, Arsenal win, yeah. Arsenal
Okay.
win.
And then Liverpool, Manchester United. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to go ahead and say a Liverpool win. 3-2.
You scared me there.
Yeah.
I'll
I
say
mean, I'm going Liverpool win as well. The only thing that scares me is just like, in these kind of rivalry games, anything can happen. We saw it with the FA Cup last season, but United have just looked poor. I mean, even like they barely got through Fulham and Brighton. That's not to discredit Brighton, but who United are supposed to be.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Almost forgot.
Xerxes alert.
Did anyone catch how this guy by the name of Xerxes essentially cost Manchester United 3 points he stole a perfectly valid goal from Alejandro Garnacho.
When that happened,
and,
I was just imagining.
I'm gonna
United had
also
Cristiano Ronaldo on that wing, and him shooting that goal and Sergi taking it off of it, bro.
yeah, Nani.
He would have been fucking
Oh
gone.
yeah.
Yeah. But my obscure prediction also for this Liverpool game is I'm extremely confident at some point Garnacho's going to score. Like that kid is loading a little bit.
I
And
rate
Rashford
Garnacho.
needs to get
Yeah.
dropped, bro.
The fact that he hasn't scored yet this season is kind of nuts. But yeah.
Yeah, he needs to go.
No, yeah, Rashford needs to play in Japan, dude.
Wait.
It's
Can
over.
we talk about?
He's
I
27
don't got
years
that.
old,
I don't got the energy for
collapse in the
Rashford
last
prop
couple-
anymore.
Yeah,
I didn't hear. By the way, what
I love it.
Nah, Liverpool win.
I just wanted to hear Fires from the
thrashing.
Beer if you guys had anything other than Liverpool win too.
I got Feyenoord beating Ajax because that's basically what we're watching here.
All right, man.
I got Liverpool winning. That's my.
We need a name
my
for this.
list.
There's a new derby name, like the Ball Derby, but there's too many of those now.
Mr. Clean, the Mr. Clean Derby.
No, this is an Eredivisie, bro.
It's got to be the Dutch Baldies, yeah, because there's Pep, there's your
The
end zone.
Rogaine rivalry, dude. That's what this is. But I was gonna say
Oh,
I'm
snap.
already seeing some Ten Hag discussions on the many Manchester United forums, and I'm looking at you, leadership. I'm gonna watch this space because you can't fire him, but you also know you made the wrong decision. This is rare in football where like I'm so confident of the outcome of a Ten Hag Manchester United that I get to really revel in watching it unfold. Like I'm certain this will fail.
Wait, if they fire someone and they finish fifth, do me and Nib still get the credit that we called it?
Sure, but I will have an excuse, God willing. But if they don't fire him, scary times are ahead. And
Do
they
you want
put
to do
themselves.
like a 30-second Tottenham talk? I mean, it's
No.
been a great Liverpool.
Nope.
For Liverpool, United thrashed, Everton thrashed,
Nope.
but we
I'd rather talk about fucking.
No,
it's
it's
a
okay.
space to watch.
Listen.
Oh,
Arsenal are going to take a trip to 3 Point Lane in 2 weeks, and order will be restored. They are doing their usual August hype, but that's what the big brother.
Wait,
is
you guys
doing.
gotta play. You gotta play first 10 games of the season, Madison, bro. That's like Zidane.
Dude, the first Wasuka goal was, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to fall for early season Tottenham again, but what I'm trusting is the new Tottenham under Ange.
Bro.
It's like, I not that I hope, but I think something will come of it. You guys had him top 4. Like,
The only thing I'll say, and I feel bad for this guy, Mickey Van de Ven is a top 3 center back
Yo.
on the planet. I'll tell you, that's what I believe personally. And I think if they achieve
On the planet?
Really?
If they achieve
What did you
anything,
see?
he
On
will
the
be the reason.
planet?
I
Bro,
don't even know who's top 3 in England.
watch some Mickey Van de Ven.
No, he's good, but top 3 in the world?
Top 3 in the Prem, like, I'll entertain.
I don't
Third.
believe in this thing. Like, okay, I understand that, like, to kind of have the credibility to make these claims, you need to have won trophies, et cetera, et cetera. That's why I'm not mad that this isn't a mainstream take. But if we're talking, if I had to pick a center back to play on an imaginary team, he's first on the bench or starting in a back 3. That guy is him, bro. Like, fastest center back on the planet. Go argue with your mom, right? That's not even a debate, right? Then you look at the ability for him to bring any level of composure and solidity to this suicidal high line. And then you
Yeah.
look at what he does with the ball on offense. That guy is genuinely like a generational talent. Like, I pray to God.
I think Faris is like a advanced stats watcher, and Ifty's like a that boy nice watcher. I think that's
That
that's what
boy
it's coming
is
down to.
nice, man. And I hate that they got him, but like really no other Big Six team besides United needed a center back at the time. So again, you could blame Ten Hag for that one. Thank you guys for watching. We're at 46 minutes long pod. We will see you, God willing, next time. Take care. Brush your hair. Bye-bye.